Today we combine two of football's biggest games by using FC25 champs rewards to rebuild a sleeping giant on Football Manager. No transfers, no instalments. It's up to the EA gods on how each summer transfer window goes. We got 3 seasons to win the league, win a domestic cup, win a European trophy, and have one of our reward players win either the Golden Ball or Player of the Season. Got it? Good.
Let's go.
We've got to a rank 9 wins, not great, but we got a hero pack, and that is all we really care about at the moment, because the hero pack isn't just going to be a hero that we get to use on FM, but the club they played for the most is the club we're going to be doing this rebuild with. So in season 1, we open the hero pack, we find out our club, we get to use that hero, and then we also open the team of the week pack. Season number 2, we open the 87 single player pack, and the best player from the 81 times 15 comes in as a transfer. And then in season number 3, we open the 82 times 10, and the best 3 players we get from that are going to be the ones we use. Why 3 players? I don't know. I just thought 3rd season, may as well have a little bit of a boost.
You're a smart motherfucker.
I hope you got all of that. If you didn't, don't worry, it will make sense as we go along. So let's get to opening that hero pack and finding out what club we're going to be using.
Well, God almighty, would you look at that?
Here we go.
So we got one of the best heroes we could from that limited hero pack. So Joe Cole is in, and I know what all of you Chelsea fans are saying. Chelsea's the team we're rebuilding. Yes, he played for them the most, but unfortunately we only rebuilt Chelsea a couple videos ago using champs rewards. I'll leave a link in the description, but that does mean Chelsea are not being rebuilt today.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
So we're going to go back in time in Joe Cole's career to his starting club. He's a Hammer at heart, so West Ham are the team we are rebuilding. Can this team of the week pack bolster us for season number 1?
Nope.
So we've got ourselves an updated database from fminside.net. I've left a link in the description, and I'd highly recommend using them for your FM25 fix, as it's not just the transfers, but ability changes too. An obvious example being none other than Cole Palmer getting a nice little upgrade. But he is not the Cole we care about on this save. Here is Joe Cole in all of his glory. Let me know in the comments whether the stats are too good, bad, or just right. I think I've got him spot on though, to be honest. We'll be using him in a Leo Classic, an asymmetrical 4-2-3-1 with 2 out-and-out wingers to exploit our big man up top, Nicholas Füllkrug.
The Germans.
The German has all the traits to be an outstanding Premier League striker on this game, and I'm expecting his big old forehead to do absolute bits all season. Paquetá is being shifted back to our centre mid spot, an advanced playmaker with a significant player instruction being to hold position, as the team is pretty attacking as it is. Guido Rodriguez is going to be overpaid and overworked, let me tell you. Spurs at home was a perfect comeback for Joe Cole, firing him up to set up Füllkrug inside 2 minutes for 1-0. Ange Ball just couldn't cope with our physicality as Sola smashed home a second before Füllkrug completed the route late on. A massive 3-0 win, but it did come at a cost as Kudus went down for the next 9 bloody weeks. He wasn't missed in our next 2 games though, especially at Newcastle, as an early Joelinton goal was soon wiped out by not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 goals by Füllkrug, as he hit a double hat-trick in a 9-2 win.
He's cooking.
The 1-1 draw at Wolves followed a monumental bottle job at Swansea to see us knocked out of the League Cup in the very first round. Second behind City after the first month, Füllkrug ripping the league a new one. How would things be looking come January? Unfortunately not as good, as the Christmas period saw us ship 8 goals to Spurs and United, slipping down to 5th. Still comfortable in a European spot though, and our main man Füllkrug was starting to have a bit of an identity crisis. The man thinks he's Haaland. 30 league goals by January 1st. He even smashed a hat-trick past rivals Chelsea. What a season from our German beast. And a lot of those goals came from our hero, Joe Cole, who now led the assist charts with 16 and still had an outside shot at claiming Player of the Season. The new year started off on a stronger foot, thankfully, as we battered Arsenal 3-0 in an FA Cup third round, a game that started a 6-game unbeaten run up to our games at Chelsea and City. We were now level with Liverpool and United in the hunt for a top 4 spot, and still had an outside chance to re-enter that title race. Okay, maybe the title race is gone for this year. What about the FA Cup? We were through to the quarter-finals to play Villa away. No Fulkrug, no problem, as Joe Cole scored our 4th goal of the first half in an utter domination of Emery's men.
Good evening.
Just the small task of topping City in the semi-finals next. After a shockingly boring first half, it was some FC25 jam that broke the deadlock, as Guardiola scored a rebound off a corner. Gundogan then scored a second, but our German monster made sure we wouldn't go down without a fight. However, that was the best we could muster, as our trophy hunt for Season 1 sadly came to an end.
He flopped it, he bottled it.
So 3 games to clinch a Champions League spot next season, even if a Europa spot would give us an easier chance at glory. Fulham were up first, and our 2-0 win actually ended up being our last of the season, as Liverpool and United beat us back-to-back in our last 2 games to leave our Champions League hopes up in the air. But we've done it. We may have lost to United 4-2 in that last game of the season, but we have pipped them to the Champions League spots by a single point. I'm not going to lie, Europa League would have been a lot easier, but hey, Real Madrid, no problem next season, eh? The Uberman. I did not expect him to get 41.
But he's mustard.
Annoyingly, Todibo is only on loan from Nice. Hopefully, out of our rewards, we get a beastly centre-back. And then out of the other rewards, we just get a superstar, because we need help. But come on, somebody good. Somebody good. I mean, he's a big old upgrade on, what's his face? Areola. Come on, please, 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 please. Somebody good. That looks like a lady as well. Striker. French. Is that Diani? Right, okay. She won't be getting used because she can't be used. An 85, my God. I'm hoping we have like a Camavinga or something. Kobal is straight in as our new goalkeeper, with old man Aspas being a bench warmer. Still got all the mentals, but those physicals are not it for the Premier League. We're keeping the same shape formation-wise, but we've tweaked the centre mid role to accommodate a returning loanee in James Ward-Prowse. The man is a set-piece god on Football Manager and in real life, so the aim is to take advantage of Fulkrug and Mavropanos' hammerheads all season long. And in terms of our aims for Season 2, to be honest, I would love to win a domestic cup this season, as I doubt we do the treble without a superstar signing in Season 3. Plus, I'd like to make up for that awful League Cup attempt in Season 1. Just before we start that second season, I wanted to quickly jump in and say thank you so much for watching and for lasting this long. If you haven't already, please do leave a like on the video. It helps the algorithm get the video out to more eyeballs. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's start the second season. New year, same Fulkrug, as he hit 6 goals in the first 4 league games of the season. An injury in a huge 2-1 win over Liverpool, though, stopped his momentum dead. Brutality. But the Super German somehow still topped the charts come January, and our tweak tactic had us just 2 points off City too. What is that top 4, by the way? Our first crack at the Champions League was going well too, sitting 7th in the league phase with 2 games to go. And what about the League Cup run that I badly wanted? Well, we survived the first round this time before absolutely smashing Spurs to reach the quarterfinals.
He got cooked!
Souček inspired us to beat United, setting us up for a semi-final rematch with Manchester City. They had just casually spent 250 million on Vinicius Jr. in the summer, by the way. Easy work. We made home advantage count in the first leg. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was pocketing Vinny, allowing our homegrown hero Joe Cole to open the scoring. And 1-0 was looking likely. And then we got FM'd as a 95th minute indirect free kick from deep eventually got bundled in for 1-1. Heartbreak for yours truly, but 37 minutes into the second leg and our not so secret weapon handed us a lifeline as James Ward-Prowse put in a peach of a corner to see us lead 2-1 on aggregate. Emerson then thought he was prime Bobby Carlos late on, bombing forward to stupidly lose the ball, leave space and help City equalise for a Peroni strike. Extra time it was then, with tired legs forcing my hand to throw on our old-timer signing, Iago Aspas. With penalties looming, Joe Cole robbed the ball out wide before sending in a hard low cross. And whilst our pensioner didn't connect cleanly, it was enough as we ran out 3-2 winners on aggregate at the Etihad. So a date at Wembley beckoned, and our opponents would be none other than Newcastle United in the final. Boom. Typically, our run before that final wasn't easy, with 5 games against the Big Six ruining any hopes of momentum before Newcastle. Could we survive? Well, sort of, as a loss to United meant we'd have to play Napoli in a Champions League knockout round playoff. They were appropriately hammered, but home draws to Chelsea and United in the league, as well as a loss to Spurs in North London, wasn't ideal. Neither was missing 3 key players for the final. Did I just say key players? Because you wouldn't have known at Wembley, as replacements Paquetá and Somerville combined inside 3 minutes for an early lead. And things went from bad to worse for the Geordies, as James Ward-Prowse yet again pulled the strings whilst Paquetá turned into a prime Ronaldinho to have us 4-0 up at half-time. A snooze fest followed in the second, but we didn't care as we claimed the League Cup and our first completed challenge of the rebuild. And thank God we won the Carabao, as the following month saw us crash out of both the FA Cup and the Champions League, meaning all attention now was back onto the league. We were 7 points off the top but had 2 games in hand. Fulkrug was doing his thing as we managed to draw at Anfield before sneaking wins over Southampton, Crystal Palace and Fulham. We couldn't beat City again at the Etihad, but we didn't lose either before performance of the season saw us smash the Gooners 3-0 in their own backyard.
Feel embarrassed.
Somehow, some way, the mighty Hammers now sat 2 clear with 3 games left. Everton and Brentford were seen off emphatically, but City and now Arsenal just wouldn't back down. So on the final day, we went to the South Coast knowing just a point would be enough to claim our league title. Brighton away wouldn't be a walk in the park though, would it? And it was nervy early on, with little action to speak of at all. But perhaps fittingly, it was 2 of West Ham's own to make the difference, as Joe Cole pounced on a lovely cross for 1-0 before Jared Bowen poached home our second. Oh yes! We had done it. Our second challenge of the rebuild in the bag, as West Ham are now your Premier League champions. Absolutely unreal scenes. West Ham are Premier League champions. We won it by 2 points. What a final day. And what another fantastic season by Fulkrug, by the way. 30 league goals. Not as good as he was last year, but 30 goals. I'm not complaining at all. He's got a 7.4 average rating, which was enough for him to claim the Footballer of the Year. Unfortunately, he is not a new signing from Reward, so that doesn't count towards our challenge. But Season 2 has seen us win a domestic cup and win the Premier League. So that is 2 of the 4 challenges completed. This tactic, unreal. Unreal. I know it's a 4-2-3-1, but Fulkrug up top with 2 wingers either side. Chef's kiss, mate. Chef's kiss. So, Season 3, our main focus is the Champions League and getting a player to win the Player of the Season or the Golden Ball. So come on. Come on, something good. Something good. It's a bloke. Cam, Spain, La Liga, is that Dani Olmo maybe? Could be anyone really.
Not bad, good choice.
I mean, they're not great, are they? I'm going to take Le Normand as some defensive cover. It's going to have to be Pellegrini. Dani Olmo, Pellegrini and Lenormand are coming to West Ham. I really don't think that Champions League's going to be getting one. So our third and final season sees us needing to win a Champions League and somehow claim a Golden Ball or Player of the Season with one of our reward players. And it's meant we've had to switch things up a bit on the old tactics board. So we've moved to a 4-2-2 as new signing Dani Olmo is pushed forward as a false 9. He looks very tidy on this updated database, so I'm hoping he can do bits up top next to our German megastar. Yeah! Pellegrini and Lenormand are on the bench as cover, and we need to pray for Aaron Wan-Bissaka as his cover at right back, Kufau, has left on a free to Galatasaray. Let's go win that Champions League, shall we? Our new front line faced an immediate test as well as we played Liverpool in our first Community Shield of the 3 seasons. But it was our tried and tested local boy who won us the game, as Joe Cole smashed home in the first half, and having Olmo now meant we could change things up when holding a lead, helping us see out the second half to clinch our 3rd trophy of the rebuild. By the time we reached the start of our Champions League run, we were still unbeaten, with Player of the Season hopeful Dani Olmo netting 4 in 4. Unfortunately, this season looks like the return of Erling Haaland the Terminator. We also aren't being helped by some tough fixtures in the Champions League phase, including a visit of Real Madrid to the London Stadium. And we held our own against the European giants as Dani Olmo poked us in front in the first half. Unfortunately, Kobel forgot what the hell he was doing in the second, as Rodrigo levelled it as the game finished 1-1. Not bad, all things considering. In fact, we went unbeaten through the entire league phase, finishing 3rd and ensuring immediate qualification to the knockout rounds. Elsewhere, we had another Carabao Cup final to look forward to, as we saw off Liverpool over 2 legs in the semi-finals to set up a final rematch with Newcastle. They were one of 4 teams to beat us in the league so far this season, as Dani Olmo's good start fell off a cliff to see us 5 points off Liverpool. And the less said about our FA Cup exit, well, the better. But we bounced back from a difficult January to go 4 games unbeaten on the road to that Carabao Cup final, not conceding a single goal. And whilst it wasn't as easy as last season, Isaac's goal was as good as it got for Klopp's men, as Joe Cole and Nicholas Füllkrug once again pulled us through the mud to down the Geordies and win us back-to-back league cups. But as good as that is, the only cup we want this year is that Champions League. And we now know Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen were first up in the knockouts. A goalless draw in the first leg preceded a hammering in the second, as we overcame the Germans 4-1 in London, and our quarter-final would be all London, as we drew Arsenal. Not great considering a recent 4-2 home loss in the league. And in the first leg, we rode our luck like a show pony, weathering an almighty storm before 2 OGs pulled us through. Jared Bowen got us ahead before Thomas bloody Souček banged in a second off a well-worked corner. The Gooners flew out the traps to start the second leg, but we wrapped up the tie within the first half as Dani Olmo scored our 4th on aggregate.
It's embarrassing.
Utter madness getting this far, but our hopes took a little hit once I realised the last 4 consisted of us, Real Madrid, Manchester City and our semi-final opponents, Liverpool.
Game over, man. Game over.
We were neck and neck with the Reds in the league now, and hilariously we would play them in a crunch Premier League game in between the semi-finals. We'll be fine, I'm sure. The first leg at Anfield ended up taking 77 minutes to get going, as Stefan Bajcetic walloped Liverpool ahead. And it got worse before it got better, as Wan-Bissaka got a straight red for attempted murder. But 2 minutes into injury time, and forgotten man Mohamed Kudus hit the strike of his life to see us claim a mad 1-1 draw. And that Kudus goal seemed to knock the stuffing out of Liverpool, as we won 1-0 at home in the league to set up a tense and dramatic second leg just 4 days later. 5 minutes into the second leg, Fulkrug did what he does best to put us up 2-1 on aggregate. Darwin Núñez then equalised with a composed finish to leave the game hanging on a knife's edge in the second half. But thank you EA, as our third season signing Dani Olmo weaved his way through before slicing it past Alisson. 3-2 on aggregate it finished, setting up a rematch with Mbappe's Madrid. But first we had to deal with that league, and we had 2 games left to settle it after a disappointing 2-0 loss at United following our European exploits.
Fantastic!
Spurs and Bournemouth were dealt with, but Liverpool were perfect after our semi-final win, even winning the FA Cup en route to Arne Slot's first Premier League title. So no back-to-back Premier League victories, but we don't care, as all eyes now turn to our Champions League final. And as the teams were announced, I noticed Madrid were missing a certain Frenchman.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
His replacement on the night, Victor Gyökeres, started fast and hard. A little too hard, as he saw red just 11 minutes into the game.
You ruined it. You ruined it and I'm leaving.
It's safe to say Madrid set up shop and parked a bus to make Mourinho proud over the next 87 minutes, as not a single highlight was seen. We got brave, took off our injured Fulkrug and sent on Paquetá and Kudus as Olmo now led the line. And then it happened. Joe Cole eventually found space in the box out on the right to set up Olmo for a history-making tap-in of all tap-ins. 10 men and no Mbappe, it was just too much for Madrid to overcome with so little time left. The mighty Hammers are now your champions of Europe. So our 3-season rebuild has come to an end with an almighty win in the Champions League final. Honestly, to win the Champions League with Emerson, Mavropanos, Kilman and Wan-Bissaka in your back line, I know Mbappe weren't playing, I know he was injured.
I don't give a to be honest with you.
So with that Champions League win, it means we have completed our 3rd challenge of the rebuild. Unfortunately, our great hope at winning that Golden Ball or the Player of the Season in the league with a new signing from FC, Dani Olmo, has failed. He scored 4 and 4 at the start of the Prem. I was thinking, oh my God, I've actually got a false 9 to work. And then he ended the season with only 9 goals. That challenge utterly failed it, mate. But he did get 7 goals in the Champions League. Scored against Arsenal in the quarters, scored the winner against Liverpool in the semis, and scored that fantastic tap-in to win the whole thing in the final. So, you know what? I don't care. Happy days, mate. Plus, Nicholas Fulkrug, I know he doesn't come from EA, from FC, but he was technically a new signing at the start of the rebuild. 41 goals in the first season, 30 goals in the second season. He won the Footballer of the Year award in the second season. Plus, if I look at West Ham's profile, he's done so well for us that he is now an icon for the club. An icon. I've won it all for him now, and I'm only in favoured personnel, mate.
It's bizarre.
So that is our 3rd rebuild done using Champs Rewards on the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like if you haven't done so already. In the meantime, have a good day, and I shall see you in the next one. See ya.